Hi, I'm Colin McDowell, and welcome to another episode of McDSP TV. Today we'll be talking about the ML4000. That's our mastering limiter and multi-band dynamics processor plugin. Why am I laughing? This plugin has over 60 controls. Holy mackerel, who thought of that? But we're going to talk about them all and walk you through it. So by the time you finish this episode, you too will be an expert on the ML4000. First, what plugins are in the ML4000? There's two. There's the ML1, that's just the mastering limiter, and then there's the ML4, that's the mastering limiter with the multi-band dynamic section. Let's look at the limiter. The limiter is pretty simple. It's got your typical output ceiling, threshold, knee, and release control. Well, maybe not so typical. The knee control, the ML4000 is the only limiter product on this planet that actually has a knee control. So yes, you can dial up an output ceiling and some threshold and make the signal louder, but then without affecting the output ceiling, you can actually dial back in dynamics into the music. Now, maybe some people don't want to have dynamic music. Maybe some people do. I'll let you folks figure that out. That's what the ML1 is all about. Then we have the ML4. And that has the same mastering limiter that the ML1 has, plus a multi-band dynamic section. What the heck does that mean? Okay, look, it's 4 bands. You got your lows, your not so lows, your mids, and your highs. Each one of those bands has a gate, an expander up or down, and a compressor. I'm going to show you how to use this multi-band dynamics section and how it feeds into the mastering limiter to get some pretty cool sounds. So that's the ML4000. It has the ML1, it has the ML4. Lots of controls. But hold on to your hats. We're going to talk about it right now. Now we're going to hear the ML1 on a vocal. Why a vocal? Well, because lots of limiters sound okay on 2-Trackmaster stuff, but if you put them on individual instruments, they sound like crap. So we're going to show you the ML1 on a vocal to show you how great it sounds on an individual instrument. And then you can only imagine how good it would sound on your 2-Trackmaster bus thing. Okay. First, the original audio.
I couldn't bear to set him free. I couldn't seem to face the truth. 'Cause everything I need is right there in his eyes. And I'm not strong enough to...
Okay, we have a pretty good performance there, but we have a huge dynamic range. We have quiet stuff that's around minus 30 dB. We have loud stuff that's getting up there. So we're going to take the ML1 limiter here, take that quiet stuff way down at minus 30, and bring it up to as hot as minus 3. And then the loud stuff, we'll make sure it stays at minus 3. Are you ready? Here we go.
I couldn't bear to set him free. I couldn't seem to face the truth. 'Cause everything I need is right there in his eyes. And I'm not strong enough to...
So, we've taken a very common problem, vocal performance, great performance, but all over the map dynamically, and we've leveled it out without time-consuming volume automation or anything like that, just putting on a very advanced, patent-pending, awesome limiter by McDSP. Now let's hear the ML1 limiter on some 2-Trackmaster stuff. In this example, we have some audio that starts out kind of quiet and gets louder. You know, the slow, low intro that comes up into the whole song, kind of like that vocal. Let's hear what it sounds like with the limiter bypassed. So you get the idea. Something quiet at the beginning, then all of a sudden, pow, a snare drum, pow, a kick drum. Yikes, the whole band's playing. How are we going to transition from that quiet stuff to that loud stuff? Let's hear what the ML1 can do to it. Not bad. We have something that treats the quiet stuff fairly transparently, but as it gets louder, those big hits from the snare and the kick drum are under control, and when the whole band kicks in, we still have a fairly controlled mix. Pretty cool? I think so. But what could we do if we had a multi-band section to add on top of that? So the ML4 has a lot of control. Well, how do you set it? I'm glad you asked. Looking over here in the UI, you see the 4 bands broken out. 1, 2, 3, 4. You see the response curves of the compressor and the expander and the gate in each plot. You can see over here the orange meters what the expander or the gate or the compressor is doing in each band. You can actually solo any of the bands to hear what's going on. You can turn up or down the volume in each band. And down here in the bottom, you can page through the gate, expander, and compression controls. You can even go up here and click the in-out button of the bands, and you can see all the input signal or all the output signal displayed in each of the individual bands. Why is that useful to you? Well, let's listen to this example and break it down on how we're going to fix it. First, with the plug-in bypass. All right, someone got really crazy with that kick drum. Well, we can hear that kick drum, and we kind of get the idea that we need to compress the lows. What does it look like on the screen when the ML4000 is doing its thing? Let's check it out. So you can see every time that crazy kick drum kicks off, we have the band 1 compressor taking care of that signal peak. Now over here in the mid and upper bands, we can see a little bit of upward expansion to give it again kind of that fiddly kind of radio-ready sound, while at the same time pinging some of the signal peaks so we have something that's more or less dynamically controlled. I bypass the plugin. That's what we had before. This is what we had now. And check it out. You can see the signal output in each one of the bands. The lows, the not so lows, the mids and the highs. Or I can go back to the input. I can start the song over. And here, every time the kick drum goes off, you can see it totally overloading this channel right here, or this band. But with the compressor kicking in, it's all good to go. When I click the output levels, you can see the output levels of that band are more or less under control, as opposed to practically clipping where they were before. Pretty cool, pretty cool. But that's not enough for you. Go to the crossover page here, and you can choose either the input, the output, or the dynamics. And you can see how the dynamic response looks over all the frequencies. The lows, the not so lows, the mids, and the highs. And shockingly, yes, you can adjust these crossover points simply by clicking on the graph and seeing what part of the audio you want to pull out. And if visual stuff isn't enough for you, you can solo any one of the bands and listen to just that problem you're trying to get rid of, then unsolo that band and make sure that what you did was what you wanted. So, that's in a nutshell some of the ways to use the ML4.